Hello everyone, it's 9:45. I'm TK and this is Coach on the Rocks. Lovely to see you on this wonderful Monday. Do hope that you had a lovely weekend, you're well rested and starting a wonderful week. I myself, I may be pushed a bit too hard on my hobby modeling. That's another topic altogether and burn the midnight oil, but still, it's important to have fun at least. So, today, an interesting topic because what I believe is one of the most important jobs of a leader or a manager is to hire people into the organization. Now, hiring is your most important function, whether you're a leader and if you work in a people team or HR, it obviously is one of your core responsibilities. So, it there are many sources that would corroborate that, and people you bring in create your organization. So essentially, this is why it is so incredibly important. But why is it that so few people, so few organizations actually spend time and effort training leaders on how to be a part of the recruitment process and, more importantly, how to interview correctly? Um, this is bizarre. We rarely see that. We rarely get asked about it, but when we do, we're really happy. So currently, we're working with a client on a program for leaders designed for that. And I definitely have some insights to share because we've been doing it for quite a while, and I think they're really getting a lot of great value, and we're getting some great feedback. So, why is interviewing important? Well, there's the compliance thing for one, which is make sure you ask the right questions and don't ask the questions that shouldn't be asked. Second of all, is to make sure that through this process of interviewing, you are getting the right person, but also providing the first crucial step in the employee experience for the people you're hiring. Now, the challenge with that often is people don't know how to interview. The only way they learn is through either being a part of interviews themselves, so being interviewed, or through what they think an interview should look like. So, as we have the term of accidental managers, you might have the term of accidental interviewers. Now, that's not great. What we do ourselves is we actually believe that a big part of the interview conversation is very similar to the part or to the process of a coaching conversation. Absolutely, if you know how to hold a coaching stance and hold a coaching conversation, even though obviously the interview isn't it, but you have a similar stance of listening and asking probing open questions with the mindset of curiosity, you will do quite well actually. And we talk about it more on our program. But there's one thing: if you're not in a position to ask us about our program, one thing I would definitely recommend is to shadow on interviews. I personally find, and this is what I always recommend, is if you can, try not to interview alone. Right? Do what you can to bring another person in to provide a outside perspective. Be it a person from the people team, so your wonderful HR person, or a fellow leader, someone preferably that would be interacting with the person, and it's a good trade. You will go for their interviews; they may come for yours. If possible, everyone's busy, but I think this is really helpful. It also provides an opportunity to learn from each other in terms of interview styles, and just observing and taking notes definitely enhances the process. Now, you can also say, many of the interviews are conducted through the camera. So watching recordings and, taking notes is also an option. I think, if obviously the permission is being given, recording interviews is a good thing. So that's a quick way to upskill, but only if, you do it for long enough and you have good role models. And the challenge is that you might pick up some bad habits. Yeah, I myself, I've done and interviewed a lot of people. I've had a stint at a consultancy. At one point, I've got benched, and I thought, well, if I can help, I can do interviews. I remember I did quite a lot, and I got quite reasonable at it because I was interviewing for same roles and asking similar questions. I will not share my tricks, but well, okay, so maybe a couple. I think what's really important at the beginning is interview contracting, similar to contracting in a coaching conversation. Now, help the person that you're interviewing understand what do you want from the conversation, and make sure they can elicit and they can say what they want from the conversation, so you can, as much as possible, help them get there. So that's one thing. Second of all, I think what's really important is everyone would like to exhibit their own style, but also likes a certain style of communication. I'm very direct and to the point, and I, like direct answers. So I'm usually quite open with people that I'm interviewing, saying, look, right, the best answers you could give are short, to the point. But I think what would really help, and I always say it to every interviewee, is I'm not looking for quick answers. In fact, many questions that I will ask you will require some thinking. So, under the interview situation for many people is something that, somehow they think requires an immediate answer. For me, it's like, well, take your time, think about the answer, and then answer. I would prefer it much more, and I think I will get much more of a genuine answer from you. And what I'm looking for is genuinely you. I'm not testing you for knowledge or anything. I just want to get to meet you and to get to know you. Some people really enjoy my interviewing sessions. Although I have to say, I'm a bit of a tough interviewer. With all these wonderful kindness I try to do, at the end of the day, I would like to understand who this person is and will they fit. So I will ask probing questions, some of them tricky. And I'm quite honest in saying, many of these questions don't have a good answer or a right answer, or I'm just looking to understand how you think. And I'm not asking these silly questions. Someone asked, at one point said that, oh, they got a question like, what if you had to move an elephant from one zoo to another? What would you do? I don't like questions like that because, okay, they are cool, but they really put a person off. It just doesn't sound great, in my opinion. When I'm being asked, I've never been really asked a question like that, but if I would hear a question like that on the interview, I would be like, that's a bit of a trick, isn't it? Right? I don't know what this person is aiming for. Well, that's okay. That's the right. But, do I want to be a part of an organization like this? Who knows? With that, a bit of rambling about interviewing. Definitely think about investing in your leaders in terms of interviewing. If you're a member of a people team, just meet them and have a little talk with them. Or if you want to make it a part of your leadership and management training curriculum, let us know. We could definitely help. Humble Associates, the logo is there as always. Have a nice one. I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.